final section of prioritizing is now we take what we've known about, like Megan talked about, like sense of time and sense of time and knowledge of tasks and estimation and those OANs. And now how can I plan a week? So we take that understanding and we say, okay, how can we balance our week with the number of tasks we have? Right. So we kind of start small. The student saying he has a soccer game on Tuesday and a huge science test on Wednesday. What am I going to do? So right now he's thinking about two big obligations, right? He's got a game on Tuesday and a science test on Wednesday. So he's already thinking, I'm that study time. How am I going to prepare for that science test on Wednesday? And I have a soccer game on Tuesday. So by helping our students break these tasks down and plan their week, they can see how the day-to-day tasks fit into the big picture and how to plan their time accordingly. So we walk them through three essential components for weekly planning, right? And that's the idea of having production time, which I'll describe to you in a minute. The use of a planner and agenda. I know kids hem and haw over this, but we're going to talk about ways to get buy-in here with those, and then personalizing those planners and agendas or those calendars, right? Personalizing the physical content of it and also the tasks within. So production time is a challenge for students who, struggle to maintain focus, right? Or have very busy schedules. And at the elementary level, we do a bunch of lessons on focus and distraction. So that's real, you'll see that kind of pairing well with these lessons at the elementary level. But it's important to teach them how to set production time. And production time is free of distractions. It is just simply working on a task for a set amount of time, chunking time that in which all distractions are removed. And for some kids, those distractions can be as simple as not having food right by them, because that might be a distraction, or obviously removing phones or electronics are distractions as well. So you can start, depending on the kids in front of you, you can start with, we've had production time with some students start as simple as 5 to 10 minutes, because that's all they're able to engage without distracting, without any distractions. So it's complete focus on a task without picking up phones, without, walking around, without going to the fridge to get a snack. Just, can I work on a task for a set amount of time? And then you can build up to hours, right? So we can start small by designating 20 to 30 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on your students. But by slowly adding time, you can help your students build endurance and, have that more long-term productivity. So I'm just giving you an example here. So this student wants to set production time for these days of the week to work on a history project. So they've started fairly small. This is fairly small for, say, that middle high schooler, right? Half hour. But then you can see it building, for 45 minutes to an hour. And then we ask students to use planners and agendas. And depending on your school or the students you work with, they may have, everyone gets the same planner, or they're able to use different ones. But we really want at our level of the executive function kind of smarts, strategy instruction, we want students to have autonomy and have choice with the planners and agendas that they use, and how we can help them with that buy-in. Some students prefer the big picture, right? Like planning out, like looking at the whole month and then going to the week and then going to the day. And some students prefer to build up. But what's really important is that we're looking at how OANs can fit into our planners and agendas. So color coding obligations, right? Putting all those in first, especially ones that are tied to time. Aspirations next. Those are tied to time as well, but again, no negative consequences. And then the negotiations, are there as well. So helping students color code OANs and think about how to plan their days, it's a nice way to start. And then you might eventually get that buy-in, because students are looking to see, I actually do have, I've underestimated, right? Or I've overestimated, and I do have a lot of free time. And a couple other activities that we've done, which is fun with this, is we've had students go on like a scavenger hunt where we're in a school building or in a clinical setting, go find an adult that doesn't use any sort of planner or agenda. And it's like almost impossible, because my planner or agenda could just be simply a sheet of paper that I write every day, my to-do list, and then I organize it, right? By my obligations. Like, what do I have to do, right? And then I might not even list my negotiations. But every adult has some system of planning their day, or it could be on their phone. It could be just appointment reminders, right? So their planners or agendas could be digital on their phone. It could be a teachers, we all have our lesson plan books, or we have digital Google calendars. But it's very affirming for students to see that there are adults that use planners and agendas and some sort of organization to their day. So this is breaking it down for a student. We share, again, we love to have our students look outside of, look at other people before they're doing themselves. So this is a sample of what a student might write in their planner for a week's assignments. So he has 2 tests and a paper due on Friday. Okay. So you can see he's got his week, his Monday through Friday, didn't include the weekend. Notice that the student broke down the assignments and created mini goals, right? So he's got his color coding, math, science, and English, right? Nothing quite tied to OANs yet, right? But these probably are considered all of his OANs. But thinking about what he needs to do each day of the week. And you'll notice that Tuesday, not so much, right? And that could be because there's something else going on. It could be that soccer game that he's traveling to after school. That's going to be, an hour on the bus, couple hour game, an hour home. So saving for some of his obligations to later in the week. So this is an example, right? So you got some color coding there. It's more like a sequence of daily to-do lists than actual OANs. All right, and then you kind of build into this. Okay, here's a student sample, example 2, and this one you'll notice has time. So on this planner, specific times are assigned to activities. So here's where we're looking to get them to build up to, right? Now we're kind of seeing, by setting specific times aside each day, you're creating production time for yourself, right? By putting in those obligations, right, aspirations into times, then you're learning how to set production time, and you're learning how to see where the openings are. And color coding, I mean, kids tend to really get drawn to that because color coding makes it easy to follow, easy to schedule in fun time, easy to find those tasks and opportunities to participate in activities and things like that. And then we get to we want them to personalize it, make it unique. If you like technology, consider using, digital calendars, Google calendars, smartphone calendars, set production time, make their calendar unique for each student. Let them have that autonomy to build it the way they like it. So, individual preferences for different students, can be listing assignments in their planners, while others prefer to, set time for them. But it's important to encourage their personalization because that's going to keep them coming back to their planners.